thought, why not share some of my tips and tricks with you guys in order to save time, to save money, and also just avoid the stress that comes with planning your groceries and your meals for the week. So if you're interested in learning what these 5 tips are, then just keep on watching. Hi mommies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dania. If you're new here, I want to remind you to go ahead and subscribe. Also hit the little bell so that you get notified every single time I upload some more spicy content. For this video, I'm doing something more related to Senora life. You guys know that I've been on my budgeting grind lately, and let me tell you, I've come a long way. Plus, you guys know that I love planning and staying organized, so I thought, why not share some of my tips and tricks with you guys? A guideline, I guess, that I've been trying to hold myself accountable to in order to save time, to save money, and also just avoid the stress that comes with planning your groceries and your meals for the week. So for starters, tip number 1 is figuring out 3 of the following things. Your budget. Are you planning weekly or bi-weekly? Third, you want to know how many meals you're trying to plan for. The key takeaway from tip number 1, you really need to be realistic. I feel like being realistic is the only way that this is actually gonna work. I guess I don't really have a guideline to say how much your budget should be. That's something that you're gonna totally adapt for your family. But for me, I try to stay around $200. I also plan my trips to be a bi-weekly thing because that's how often we get paid in my household, and I just feel like it's easier. The number of meals, what works for us is that I get a bunch of things, so we have options for like breakfast and lunch foods, but what I really plan for are dinner. For a bi-weekly trip, I usually plan for at least 10 dinner meals because I also take into consideration, again, being realistic, how many times we might actually grab takeout or go out to eat. Step number 2 is your fridge and pantry. So in order to save time and just get organized and really get a feel for what it is that you already have, I usually start off by going through the fridge and going through the pantry, get rid of anything that either went bad, anything that we're just not gonna eat anymore, and then we also reorganize. Not only are we getting rid of everything that's old, but now we really have a visual of what's left. Also, doing the step before you go and buy your groceries makes everything super easy because you know once you get your groceries, you want to just get straight to putting them away. My guideline requires doing a grocery pickup. Also helps me with saving money because as I'm doing a grocery pickup order, I'm clearly able to see how every item that I'm adding to my order is adding to my total. Like I said, say $200 and I'm strict on my budget and I can't really go over, then I'm able to see, maybe swap things around. With tip number 3, adding all of your must-have items onto your grocery pickup list. Regardless of anything, these are items that I always must have. Cheese, bread, eggs, milk. Since these are things that you're gonna buy no matter what, I usually like to start here because it gives you a nice idea of where your budget stands after all of those items. For example, you hit $100, your budget's $200, now you know that you have another $100 to play with to really think about what meals you're gonna make so that you stay within your budget. Tip number 4 is actually moving on and creating the list of all of the meals that you plan to make. For me, in my household, I don't really think out meal options for breakfast. Basically, all of the basic things that you need to just put breakfast meals together, I just always try to have those on hand. For lunch, I also do the same thing. So I just like to have easier options. But again, what I really do cook is dinner. I love spreadsheets. I go ahead and start listing all of the meals that I plan to make. This is also probably a good point to ask your family and expand it out to them and see if they have any requests. And finally, tip number 5 is now that you have your list of all of the meals, is actually going through and adding all of the remaining ingredients and items that you need for these meals to your grocery pickup list. Remember to adjust things as needed depending on your budget and how you see your total going up as you're adding more items. And like I said, the most important thing about this whole entire process is just being very realistic with yourself. Try to take a step back and maybe think, what items am I having to go back to the store throughout the week to get? Something that I crave and I have every now and then, Red Bull. So I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna have one at all. And then I know I'm still gonna cave. If you just add them and already have them at home, you're gonna be less tempted to be making all of those little stops at the store on a daily basis, because we all know that when you stop for at the grocery grocery store, even for 1 or 2 little things, you will always be tempted and most likely end up spending and buying more than what you actually went for. Can't stress this enough. Be realistic. Once you have your entire grocery pickup order ready to go, I will usually go ahead and switch the location for my pickup depending on where I can fit it in with maybe some other plans that I have. My biggest thing is just saving time and money, and time is money. So hopefully these tips are helpful for some of you. When I come on here and I share things like this, it's not because I feel like I have all my shit together, but it's simply because I'm on a journey to hopefully have all my shit together. I know I didn't go into depth about like what meals I have planned for the week. Maybe that's something that I could do in a separate video. So in the future, I'll definitely be coming up with more videos that are kind of tied and related to things like this. Hopefully you guys enjoy them. Like it's tradition with all of my other videos, I am going to be leaving you guys with a positive affirmation. For this video, the positive affirmation is that time well invested will never be time that's wasted. In order for this plan to work, you do have to invest a little bit of time. It's totally worth how much time it saves you on a day-to-day. It's invested time, not wasted time. Don't be shy. In the comments down below, share some of the things that you guys do that you feel like has been working for your family. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. But that's it for this video. Remember, mommy, stay spicy, stay positive. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. I'm gonna decide what day I'm gonna make what, and I'm gonna put it on this little calendar and put it on our fridge depending on how our weeks go, because mom life, senora life, you know, we always are having to adapt, and just having a visual plan makes it easier for you to swap things around and move things around.